Are you dreaming of harvesting your own fresh, flavorful peppers? But the thought of starting with these tiny seeds feels a little intimidating? Yeah, I get it. But I promise you, it's so much easier than you think. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 5 simple steps that will set you up for a garden that is absolutely bursting with sweet and spicy peppers this season. We're going to take all the mystery out of it, together. And hey, drop a comment below and let me know what peppers you're most excited to grow this year. Are you team sweet, or do you like to bring the heat? I'd love to hear about it. All right, let's dig in. First, it helps to know what we're working with. Whether you're growing a crunchy bell pepper or a fiery Carolina Reaper, all peppers belong to the same family, capsicum. So, what makes one sweet, and the other, well, terrifyingly hot? It's a compound called capsaicin. Sweet peppers have basically none of it, which is why they're great for snacking. Hot peppers are loaded with it, and we measure that heat on the Scoville scale. A jalapeno might be a few thousand Scoville units, while the record holders can scream past 2 million. But here's the best part. No matter which peppers you choose, the process for starting them from a seed is pretty much identical. And starting from seed gives you access to an incredible world of varieties you'll never find at your local garden center. So let's get them started. Now, you might be watching this in the fall or winter and thinking, oh no, I've missed my chance for this year. But here's the secret. The best pepper harvests begin with a plan, and right now is actually the perfect time to make one. If there's one mistake that trips up beginners, it's getting the timing wrong. So our first step is understanding the calendar. Peppers are tropical plants, meaning they're kind of slowpokes and need a long, warm growing season. For most of us, that means giving them a head start indoors. The golden rule is to start your pepper seeds inside about 6 to 8 weeks before your area's last average frost date. Some of those super hot varieties need even more time, maybe up to 10 weeks, so always give your seed packet a quick read. To figure out your start date, you first need to know your last frost date. Just do a quick search for your city, last frost date online. Once you have that date, count backward on a calendar. For example, if your last frost date is April 15th, you'd count back 8 weeks, which puts your ideal seed starting day right in the middle of February. Whether you're planning for next spring or you're in a climate where you can start now, getting this timing right is the most critical step. It ensures your plants will be strong, mature, and ready for the garden the moment the weather is perfect for them. Okay, now for the fun part, getting your supplies. Having everything ready to go makes this whole process feel less like a chore and more like a fun project. You don't need a bunch of expensive equipment, but there are a few items that are non-negotiable for success. First, your seeds. Try to use fresh, high-quality seeds. Anything less than 2 years old will give you the best shot at germination. Next, what you'll grow them in. This is a big one. Please, do not just go scoop up dirt from your backyard or use a heavy potting mix. You need a light, fluffy seed starting mix. This stuff is specifically designed to hold moisture without getting waterlogged, which is a primary cause of seed failure, and it's low on fertilizer, which is perfect for brand new seedlings. You'll also need some containers. These can be fancy seed starting trays, small pots, or even yogurt cups, as long as they have drainage holes at the bottom. And now for the secret weapon, the one piece of gear that will completely change your pepper growing game, a seedling heat mat. Peppers are picky. They need warm soil to germinate, ideally between 75 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Our homes are usually not that warm, and a sunny windowsill just won't cut it. A heat mat gives them that consistent, gentle warmth from the bottom, which is the single most important factor for getting them to sprout quickly. I really recommend one with a thermostat so you can dial in the perfect temperature. Finally, grab a humidity dome or just a sheet of plastic wrap to cover your trays. This traps warmth and moisture, creating a perfect little greenhouse for your seeds to get started. With all our gear ready, it's finally time to plant. First, let's prep the soil. I like to pre-moisten my seed starting mix in a separate tub before filling my trays. You're aiming for the consistency of a damp, wrung-out sponge, not soaking wet. This ensures the seeds have moisture right from the start without you having to drench them and wash them away after planting. Here's a pro tip that can really speed things along. Soak your seeds. Just letting your pepper seeds sit for 8 to 12 hours in room temperature water can soften up their tough little shells and shave days off germination time. Some gardeners even swear by using weak, lukewarm chamomile tea, since the tannins can help break down that seed coat. Once your soil is ready and your seeds have had a soak, it's time to sow. A good rule of thumb is to plant seeds about 1/4 inch deep. The easiest way to do this is to use a pencil eraser or just your fingertip to make a little indentation in each cell. I always plant 2 seeds per cell. Think of it as an insurance policy. It doubles your chances of getting at least one healthy seedling in every single spot. Don't worry, we'll deal with the extra one later. And a quick but important safety note. If you're handling the seeds of super hot peppers like ghost peppers or Carolina Reapers, it's a really good idea to wear gloves. The capsaicin oils can still be on the seeds and can irritate your skin, and you don't want to accidentally rub your eyes. Trust me on that one. Finally, and I really mean this, label everything. Use some plant tags to write down the pepper variety and the date you planted them. You think you'll remember what you put where, but you won't. You'll thank yourself for this later. Your seeds are planted. Now your new job is to create the perfect environment to wake them up. This is where that heat mat and humidity dome become the stars of the show. Place your seed tray right on top of your seedling heat mat. If you have a thermostat, plug the mat into it and stick the temperature probe into the soil of one of the middle cells. Set that thermostat to a cozy 80 or 85 degrees Fahrenheit. That consistent warmth is the signal that tells these tropical seeds it's time to get growing. Next, cover the tray with its humidity dome or a sheet of plastic wrap. This is going to trap humidity and keep the soil from drying out, which is fatal for a sprouting seed. If your dome has vents, keep them closed for now. Now comes the hardest part of the entire process, being patient. In these perfect conditions, you could see your first sprouts pop up in as little as 4 to 7 days. But some sweet peppers might take 2 weeks. And some super hots can take a month or even longer, so don't give up on them. It's a good idea to pop the dome off for a few minutes every day to let in some fresh air, since the seeds do need oxygen to get going. Hey, real quick, if you're finding these tips helpful and you're getting excited about your own pepper harvest, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We have a whole season of growing ahead of us, and I'd love for you to join in on all of it. The moment you see that first little green sprout pushing through the soil is the absolute best. But your work isn't over. These next couple of weeks are critical for growing strong, healthy plants. As soon as you see that first sprout, 2 things need to happen immediately. The humidity dome comes off for good and the lights come on. Seedlings need of light, way more than a sunny windowsill can give them. Without enough intense light, they'll get leggy, which means they'll grow into long, pale weaklings as they stretch for a light source. To stop this, you have to use a grow light. Position the light just a couple of inches, about 2 to 3, above the tops of your seedlings, and you need to leave it on for about 16 hours a day. A cheap outlet timer is a lifesaver here. As your seedlings get taller, you'll have to raise the light to keep that perfect distance. Now let's talk water. With the dome off and the heat mat still on, your soil is going to dry out much faster. You have to keep the soil consistently moist but never ever soggy. Overwatering is the #1 killer of seedlings because it leads to a fungal disease called damping off, which rots the stem right where it meets the soil. The best way to water is from the bottom. Just pour some water into the bottom tray and let the soil soak it up through the drainage holes. After 20 or 30 minutes, dump out any extra water that's left. This encourages the roots to grow down deep and keeps the stems and surface soil a bit drier, which helps prevent disease. Remember how we planted 2 seeds in each cell? Well, once your seedlings have their first set of true leaves, that's the second set of leaves they grow, it's time to make a choice. Pick the stronger looking seedling and thin out the other one. Don't pull it out because you could damage the roots of the one you want to keep. Just take a small pair of scissors and snip the weaker one right at the soil line. I know it feels mean, but it's essential for growing a big, productive plant. One last tip for this stage: add a small fan. A gentle, indirect breeze for a few hours a day works wonders. It helps strengthen their little stems, dries the soil surface to prevent fungus, and starts getting them prepared for the real-world outdoors. And that's really all there is to it. Let's do a quick recap of the mission. First, nail the timing. Start seeds indoors 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. Next, get your gear. Use a good seed starting mix and a heat mat. It's honestly a game changer. Then plant like a pro, soak your seeds, plant them about a 1/4 inch deep, and label everything. After that, make a pepper spa. Use the heat mat and humidity dome to create a warm, moist paradise. And finally, give them light. As soon as they sprout, give them 16 hours of intense, close light and water from the bottom. Starting peppers from seed opens up this incredible world of flavor, from the sweetest, crunchiest bell pepper to the most exotic, fiery chili you can imagine. It is such a rewarding process, and if you follow these steps, you're setting yourself up for a massive, successful harvest. Good luck on your pepper growing journey. I know you've got this. Thanks for watching and happy growing, and please make sure to hit that subscribe button for more great tips.